because of the rain, we didn't get a chance to go out last night, but we did get a chance to watch the Charlotte game, make the corrections, get an advanced look, probably 45 minutes of El Paso. And so hopefully our guys last night got some of the things that we needed corrected and get a chance to move on to Texas El Paso. A team that, a little bit like us last year when we lost Nick, just that emotion that you go through of a new quarterback. And they struggled for a little bit, but last week getting Mac Leftwich back, coach's kid, really good player, accurate, confident. They're a different team. They played different, and they were more steady. It's when you get your starters back, and you can't replace those guys. I don't think what people understand. You just can't go to the grocery store and get another player. You have who you have, and so they went through a little bit of a lull, but after their bye week, they've done a great job. That's a credit to Sean and their team, and came out and really played well against FAU, who's really a little snake bitten themselves with all the turnovers. Not a bad football team, but they got to win. And so, in terms of the back half season, so we're going to have to be ready to go. A good football team. We owe them one. We did not play our best last year down there offensively, and so we're going to have to be ready to go and fight like heck to get a victory.
Questions? Coach, 2 weeks you put together 2 pretty complete games with Texas, San Antonio, and then Charlotte. Is it any more difficult to keep the players focused on moving forward and improving when you're having the success that you have the last couple of weeks?
I don't know. I don't know if we put together complete games. I mean, 2 weeks ago we had 4 turnovers and kicked 4 field goals. So that's. We have a lot of improvement there. We didn't turn it over this week on offense. Now we made a silly mistake on a punt return, and one that hit the leg of one of our guys on punt return. So, there's a lot of things we can improve on. That it may not be to the naked eye, but this is a better team than who we've played. I mean, I know UTEP lost at home, a few weeks ago to UTSA, but this isn't that same team. I mean, I know they've got one of their safeties back who's a good player, the Fisher kid, and having the quarterback back is, it's if you're good at quarterback, you got a chance to win every week. And not that their other players weren't giving them a chance, but it's not the same. So our team understands that. All I have to do is look at this last week's game. That's all you have to do, and look at when Mac played early in the year. That's a good offense, and their defense gave us fits last year. So we have a lot to improve on.
For the third straight week, Coach, your team held the opponent under 300 yards of offense. What does it say about the coaching staff?
Doing a great job. We've got good players, we've got good coaches. It starts with, and then, recruiting good players and develop them and doing it better. So, and it helps. Now, it wasn't so much in Marshall, but the other games are, can you get a lead? We're athletic up front. Can you get ahead? Can you turn the guys loose? Can you, be aggressive? So that's helped. So, but it's important for our guys to understand that it's, as I say, it's week to week. You can't carry over stats. There's nothing you can carry over from the weeks previous to say, okay, well, this is what we're going to hold them to. No, that's not. It's this week's different, as will next week, and every week we continue to play.
Confidence and momentum kind of go hand in hand, and those are 2 pretty powerful things. Would you agree?
I would agree to that. I think that I've said this many times. After our first year when we beat UAB, the great thing was we ended the year on a win. The negative was we didn't get to play the next week. You didn't get to benefit from the excitement of winning and singing the fight song in the locker room in confidence. Then last year, after we beat North Texas on the road, and we come here and we're probably the most confident we've been, and we lose Nick, and we lose at home to Louisiana Tech, and so you stumble a little bit right there. A little bit what they've just gone through. How do you get that back? How do you get your team playing and confident? So we're kind of at that point now where I think our guys believe we have a good football team, and we are capable that if we do the right things during the week, which the game is a byproduct of what you do during the week in terms of taking care of your body, in terms of how you approach it, how you take notes, and then how do you practice during the week that leads itself up to Saturday.
Coach, having an opportunity to look at UTEP on film already like you have, are there any areas of their game that you're particularly impressed with?
I'm impressed with the quarterback. And there's others. It's not just him, but the quarterback himself. I mean, very accurate, really has a good understanding of what they want to do, And, you know, I mean, so he makes them go, you know. They lost their good running back early in the year, which has been hard on them. You know, it's hard to replace a guy that's as good a player as he is. They lost, you know, one of their safeties I thought was the Cockrell kid. I thought was a really good player. And they've been banged up at other positions. But they've done a great job defensively of overcoming that. Coach Stoker does a great job disguising looks and being aggressive, challenging you offensively. And so, you know, they've done a great job. Patrick Higgins, I know, is the offensive coordinator. They do a really nice job. And they're going to be the best they've been this Saturday. I believe that. Second half of the season, bye week, big win, and we're going to have to be ready.
Every week you kind of talk about how great the depth is on offense. How cool is it to see guys like Taylor Marini and some of those other playmakers stepping up?
You know, sometimes the opportunity arises. You know, they play, you know, it's like DJ. You can go a couple weeks where you don't have opportunities, and then all of a sudden the opportunities arise. All you can do is play hard and play at your best, and when those opportunities come your way, be ready to make a play. Because like I always say, there's only one ball, so there's only one chance every play for you to touch it. So, and I think our guys have done a good job of that. You know, it was nice to see Ricky Parks, who was a little nicked up early in the week, to get a big play for us down the middle of the field. So we've got good players, and where we've been thin offensively, we've been able to stay healthy.
Did you see Ito and did you see any frustration from Ito and DJ after the game that they had pretty quiet games?
I didn't see any of that, but that doesn't mean that, you know, is it natural to be frustrated when you're a skilled guy and you don't touch as much? I would hope our guys would be frustrated. I would hope that they want the football. That's why you play a skill position, you know. You believe in yourself. You believe you have an opportunity to make big plays. I don't find that to be selfish. I find that to be, hopefully they're confident. That's why you play skill positions. With that being said, it can't overtake what it means for you to play hard without the ball. And that, as we all know, by pouting or not practicing hard, that doesn't change it. What changes it is continuing to do what you do, and when the opportunities arise, making the most of it.
If there's one word to describe your team's identity, especially in the last few weeks, what would that one word be?
Okay, one word, our team's identity. I don't know. I don't have one word, that identity. You know, do I think our guys are confident? Yes. But I don't know if I'd say that's our identity. I don't have one.
What do you know about UTEP's offensive line? I mean, 8 sacks in 7 games they've given up. What does that say about them?
Well, you know, the head coach is an offensive line guy, so they're going to be physical. You know, they made a couple tweaks in the offensive line, and you know, so he's going to get that part of it right. They're going to run the football. They're going to try to win the time of possession, and they're going to try to win the turnover. All the same reasons that we believe why you win, they believe in the same things. You know, it's how do you get explosive plays? How do you not turn it over? How do you convert on third downs? How do you get touchdowns in the score zone? How do you create lost yards plays and not have those? All the same reasons you win. He believes in the same things I do. You know, you lose your running back, that's made it hard, but they've continued to try and run the football. May not be as explosive as it would be with that player, but they have still continued to run the football. They do a nice job with their play action game. And, you know, with the quarterback back, they had a chance to hit some shots, and they had some drop balls that would have gone for a couple other big plays.
All season long, the message has been that you guys are significantly better, and especially after winning now your 3rd conference game, but more than 3 touchdowns, are we really starting to see that on the field?
Oh, you know, I mean, I knew we were better. It's just a matter of us going and doing it. I mean, you know, you're rarely going to play perfect, but, you know, like I said a couple weeks ago, when you don't play perfect offensively and you turn it over 4 times and you kick 4 field goals, you got a pretty good football team. You overcome all that. And our defense has picked the offense up when they've needed to, and vice versa. So I think that's a sign of a good team. I think we've got the right guys. I think we've got talented guys. And so those are all the things you need. You need to recruit, develop, and coach better.
Now, winning 2 in a row, how much easier does it get to, you know, keep winning and keep building that momentum?
I don't know if the 2 in a row gets that, but I do think that having success, it's a balance. You know, when you're losing, trying to convince guys that you're capable, and when you're winning, trying to convince them that there's no carryover, that avoid the noise. I've said that for a few weeks now, either way. Same people that's right on either side of it. So it doesn't matter. It's what we believe. It's how we prepare, that you can't get to the end of the season yet. You're only at game 9. That's it. This is this one. We only have 5 wins. You don't get anything for 5 wins. 6 gets us the opportunity for our first goal, which is to be a bowl team. Then the next goal is to find a way to win the West and then win the conference. So our goals are still out there for us, but we haven't really achieved anything yet. We've put ourselves in position by our play and by our work. Now it's how do we continue that this week?
Now, you just mentioned what's at stake by winning a game this week against UTEP, and there's obviously a lot of parity around the league, so maybe this isn't the right word to call it a trap game, but how do you avoid, falling into that after having won those two in a row?
Well, I think any time that you win, I don't, trap's probably a strong word, but anytime you win, is human nature is, hey, we've got this. And then the defense has done a nice job. Again, there's no carryover. We have to, what does UTEP do that poses issues for our defense? What do they do defensively for offense? And how about special teams? So those kind of things all play into that. Do I think our guys know what's at stake this weekend? Yes. But we can't get to the bye week without this game. We can't get to 6 without this game. We can't talk about what a destination is. That's foolish. We don't need to start making plans for the bye week. We don't need to start making travel plans for where this team is headed when you're at 5. All that can be taken care of later, I promise you. It's about each week and how you prepare for this coming week. And then you wake up and the season ends and then you reflect back. There's no reflecting now. There's no looking forward. It's UTEP.
I know the game's not played on paper, but you guys are 14th in the country in a situation where your number of drives, where every play you have averages at least 10 yards. And UTEP on the flip side is 127th in the country, giving up drives like that. So you mentioned explosive plays and that being one of the keys. It sounds like, on paper at least, you guys do that really well. Their defense doesn't. So how do you?
Well, again, there's no carryover. It's what they did against us last year. Yeah, we had some explosive plays against them last year, but we turned it over a bunch. I think it was 5 straight possessions, and 2 or 3 of them led to scores. I mean, maybe 2, and then they had a kick return, and it was atrocious. I thought Sean. I came to see him at the end of the game. He probably thought I was pissed at him. I wasn't pissed. I was just embarrassed at how we played offensively, and to put that product on the field there, and that's what it was. So, like I said, the bottom line is they're going to try to be disruptive. That's what they do. And they do a nice job of it. They really do. So our job is to not go backwards, not put ourselves in those positions where we're going to turn the ball over, because they're going to give you opportunities for explosive plays if you can take advantage of it. The key is, can you take advantage of it? Do you have good enough skilled players? Do you do good enough things to give yourself that opportunity without putting yourself at risk?
Did Delonte Thornton show you anything Saturday?
He did what he does every day in practice, which is come to work and practice hard, and he's a hard runner.
You talked for 3 years about how important it is for your guys to sing that fight song after a win. Now that they've sang it 4 times this year, how are they doing?
Well, actually, I think it's 5, but 5 times. So let's not. It's taken us so long to get to 5. Let's not make sure we miss out on one of those. That's what you do it for. I mean, that's why you play the game. There's nothing like celebration. I don't care what you're doing. There's nothing like celebrating. It's if you're a lawyer and you win a big case, you're celebrating victory. Anything that you get a reward for something you put everything into, that's what it's about. If it wasn't about that, then I don't know why you do it. So for our team to continue to taste victory and appreciate it, that's what I think our guys have to understand. Is it's not easy. We've been through that. If it was that easy, it wouldn't have taken us this long. So from all of us. So it's that's everything. Those are the special moments of why you do it. Is to be in there with your team and to celebrate their success individually and collectively as a team.
Will you celebrate anything specially after your team potentially becomes bowl eligible?
Well, I don't even talk about it because we're not there yet.
Health-wise, how'd you guys make out Saturday?
We're fine. I mean, there's a couple nicks here or there. We anticipate we'll have everybody back, and we're hopeful to have Justice Hayes back and Quincy Russell back. Those guys have been out a couple weeks, and so I anticipate we'll have them back.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
All right.